Across Australia, New Zealand and the South Pacific, this is the week's Adventist News in Focus with David Gibbons.
Hello, thanks for joining me. As soccer fans around the globe turn their attention to the FIFA World Cup in South Africa, Christian ministries are doing the same. Local churches are partnering with international ministries to conduct street ministry and HIV/AIDS education. Athletes in Action has prepared a DVD featuring international football stars explaining the reasons for their Christian faith. And the UK's Stanborough Press is placing 25,000 copies of the devotional book Steps to Christ in every hotel room in cities hosting World Cup games.
They're going to place them in hotel bedrooms so that everyone who visits the World Cup and stays in those hotel bedrooms will have the opportunity of taking away with them a Steps to Christ. Now, if anything's exciting, that is.
600,000 women in Nepal suffer from a prolapsed uterus where the womb is partially or completely outside the body. The condition occurs for several reasons, including difficult labour and returning too quickly to hard physical work. But it's treatable. Sydney Adventist Hospital's healthcare outreach program brought 2 gynecological surgeons to Nepal to make a difference. They successfully operated on 25 women, some of whom had been suffering with prolapse for 30 years.
It's wonderful to look into these people's eyes after you've done the operation. You can see quite clearly what a change you've made in their lives, restoring a sense of self.
More than 14,000 women gathered in Papua New Guinea to share in the theme Touch a Heart, Tell the World. The women were at 3 different locations, with the largest group of 11,000 meeting at Lae, PNG's second largest city. Many of the women travelled for days by foot to make it to the event. International Adventist Women's Ministries Director Heather Dawn Small was the keynote speaker. She flew by helicopter between the 3 meeting sites and was amazed at the enthusiastic reception she received. Heather Dawn Small challenged the women to be representatives for Christ within the family and workplace. And still in PNG, the national government has warned that stocks of HIV and AIDS medications are running dangerously low. The Council for World Mission reports 2% of the adult population of Papua New Guinea is HIV positive. That's approximately 64,000 people. But the National AIDS Council suggests the real figures could be up to 6 times higher. There's concern that stocks of antiretroviral medicines will be exhausted by August. The government is appealing to international aid agencies to fund new supplies.
The government's asking the NGOs to pick this up, and the NGOs' role is really to support the provision of this service. And if the government's giving the role completely to the NGOs, then the NGOs do not have the capacity to be able to provide the service fully.
A broad selection of brand new Christian music acts impressed the capacity crowd at the launch of a new music label.
And that's when I know I need you.
Salter Music says it's focused on encouraging Christian artists to fulfil their God-given creative potential. For these musicians, it's important to treat what they do as a ministry. Salter has a particular interest in Adventist artists from the South Pacific region, but the label is already considering expressions of interest from further afield. And briefly in this week's record, Indigenous Australians gather to celebrate 100 years of targeted ministry to Aboriginals and Torres Strait Islanders. Sherry Peters assists 1,000 people to get back on the road to recovery. And more ministers are needed to face a pastoral crisis in South Pacific Island territories. And of course, you can watch the full half-hour episode of In Focus every Friday night on the Hope Channel, Foxtel Channel 182 and Shine TV in New Zealand. And you can watch it online at www.infocus.org.au. Well, that's the news for this week. Thanks for watching. I'm David Gibbons.